We all know the Skynet problem. We want something powerful enough to stop mass casualty attacks before they happen. But we don't want a system that starts ruling people based on predictions, ideology, or fear. So here's a thought experiment. Imagine a system whose only job is to decide if a very specific kind of threat is real. An active operational plan to kill a large number of civilians. Not bad opinions, not dangerous beliefs, not this person might be risky someday. Only clear, observable, real-world steps toward mass civilian harm. That system is what I'm calling a distributed bureau of morality, or DBM. It's not a government. It's not a police force, and it's definitely not Skynet. It's a human filter that can say just one thing. Yes, this is a real operational threat to civilians, or no, the evidence isn't strong enough to justify force. Here's how the DBM would work. First, it only wakes up for extraordinary cases. Situations where someone claims there is an imminent mass casualty plot, with a specific target and real-world steps already in motion. The evidence goes into a structured case file. Who is involved, what they're doing, what materials or logistics exist, and which civilians are at risk. That case file is then sent to a large, globally distributed pool of human reviewers. They are chosen randomly for that case. They never talk to each other, and they all see the same structured evidence. Each person answers one binary question. Is there a clearly defined, observable, and verifiable operational chain of actions pointing toward imminent mass civilian harm? That's it. No extra commentary, no. I don't like these people. Just yes or no. When the answers come back, the system looks for strong convergence. A supermajority has to agree that the operational threshold is met. If the votes are split, or the disagreement is high, the case is paused. More verification is requested. And unless the situation becomes clearer, no coercive action is authorized. If the DBM decides the threat is real, what actually happens? Even then, its powers are tightly limited. First level, non-coercive disruption. That includes warnings, alerting lawful authorities, and cutting off money or logistics directly tied to the operation. Second level, targeted prevention. That might mean disabling a specific delivery system, blocking a shipment, or seizing particular materials that are part of the attack chain. And only at the very end, if an attack is already unfolding or cannot be stopped any other way, can physical force be used. Even then, the DBM itself never pulls the trigger. It only says charter conditions are met. Lawful forces are allowed to act. Just as important is what the system refuses to do. It cannot punish people for beliefs, speech, or ideology. It cannot act on this group is risky, or this person feels dangerous. It cannot target anyone based purely on predictions of what they might do in the future. And it cannot expand its own powers. Any change in its rules or thresholds has to go through a separate, constitutional level process outside the system itself.
Of course, a system like this has serious blind spots. It will often be too late to catch lone wolves who only show their true target at the last moment. It will struggle with small cells that hide their full plan behind encryption and compartmentalization. It will be weak against slow burn disasters, like climate or infrastructure collapse where there's no single attack chain at all. And it will always be vulnerable to high-quality deception in the evidence it sees. None of that is an accident. The DBM is designed as a late threshold, high-certainty system on purpose. It gives up some early prevention, so it does not become a pre-crime engine that governs people by prediction, interpretation, or ideology. And that leads to the real question. Is this a trade-off you would accept? Would you rather live in a world where some real atrocity slipped through because the system waited for clear operational proof? Or in a world where a powerful system acts earlier, based on models and probabilities, knowing that sometimes it will coerce or punish people who might never have crossed the line? There is no neutral answer. Any design like this has to choose what kind of failure it is willing to live with. So where would you draw that line?